So this is a repair video of my Miele washing machine. The problem with it is the door catch is defective. It's broken. It's cracked. The body of it's cracked. And what I've done for the last so many months, I wrapped a piece of electrical, a couple of bits of electrical tape to squeeze it all together. But of course, which has been a good temporary fix. But now it gets to the point where it doesn't always open first time, and sometimes you have to pull the emergency lock to get the door open, and to close it you have to fiddle about just to get it to latch. So as I finally got a spare door catch from a scrap machine that I have, which should be identical. The great thing about these early 2000s and just before Miele washing machines is they're ever so easy to service. So I'll show you now just how quick it is to get to the bits to change it. So let's see if the door will open. Hopefully it will. Yeah, so that's alright this time. So I'll turn it off, switch it off, and importantly remove the plug, so the whole thing is now not connected to the mains. You remove the soap drawer, it's relatively easy, and then with a Phillips screwdriver you've got 3 screws you remove here, and then there's 3 bolts here that you remove, and then just being careful of that filter trap there, and the whole front of the cabinet opens out. So right, let's remove these. Got a little tray to put these things in. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Should be doable. We shall see. This washing machine I think dates from, as I said, the noughties. So it's done well. I like these machines because they are easy to replace the parts for. Even the bearings and things, it is all doable on these machines really quite easily compared to some of the more modern machines. I had this machine second hand a couple of years ago for basically 20 quid. Or I think it was £25 actually. And the problem was that the door was cracked. The glass on the door was cracked. And I had a scrap one which had the main board go in it, which I still never found a problem for that. But it meant I had basically all the parts, because most of these parts for this series of machine, these noughties machines, are interchangeable. I mean, with most washing machines you'd have to remove an awful lot to change the door catch. Yeah, so I replaced the door seal. This is a new door seal because the original door seal had a bit of a crack in it when I replaced the door. I don't know whether the glass had a bit of chip in the glass. This bowl bit was broken, so I just replaced this and replaced the door seal at the same time. Now you do have to, with these, make sure that the little pipe is disconnected. It's the thing you have to wiggle at the moment to get the door to close properly. And then you sort of lift this bottom edge up. There we are. And now, close this door too. The whole front of this swings out of the way. There we go. And this is the bit we've got the problem with. So let's have a look. It's 2 nuts here. There we are. I'm not actually sure. No, just a bit too big for that. So let's see if we can get these out with a pair of pliers. The replacement one I've got actually got Torx screws to go in here, which will make life a bit easier. and using these oversized pliers. At some stage somebody's tried to break into this machine because you can see it's, the enamel's chipped there. Yes, they're just finger tight. It's not too bad. Right, so that should be dangling and connected here. So we'll remove that. Try to remove it from the clip. Doesn't play ball. Oh, there we are. The clip's fallen off. Again, it's very hard to do this with one hand. Put the camera down a minute. Who would have thought that would be the bit that was the struggle? Just getting the wire off the clip. Right, now somehow this should fit in there. That's it. Hook that back. Right. So this is the one. As you can see, what happened is it cracked, and I just put this bit of tape around it to keep it together. So what I'll do now is get the, this is the replacement one, which is identical. I've just got to thread this onto here, and then it'll just plug in the same place as the old one. So right, let's try and remove. Right, so that's got that bit off, so let's see if we can thread this through here. There we go. So now that's on there. And then it sort of clips into that piece of plastic there. Let's get the camera to focus. It won't do. There we go. So now there's the emergency release mechanism installed, so that'll fit in there. So now what I need to do is screw that into there. Now, as I said, on the replacement door catch, I'll just put the first screw in first. On the replacement, it's a, or on the other one I've got, it's a Torx screw, as opposed to it being a bolt. So let's get that in. It should be a bit easier to remove next time, being a screw. Supposed to get the pliers in there. There we go. So now we can thread this in here and make sure it's clipped into this clip there. There we go. So basically that's in. We can now make sure that that doesn't get trapped in the bottom there, which it shouldn't do, and then we just sort of lift this bottom edge in. So now that's in. Make sure this pipe is clipped in there properly and that is loose. Now it's just a matter of screwing everything back together again. So it's these 3 bolts. To Right. And then before I put the rest of the screws in, I can test that it works by switching it on and just closing the door temporarily before we go and put all the screws back. So there we are. That's those 3 bolts in. Let's plug it in, and hopefully, there we go, perfect. And turn it on, and the power comes on. So there we are, and press the door, and it should open. Try it again. Yep. Perfect. So I can put all the screws in now, and that's that repair.